For these placemats, they come with a optional pocket to put your utensils in. I think it's a cute added touch. I wanted to make a note about the thread color. So on mine, I used kind of a cream color and it showed up pretty good on the back. So if you don't want it to stand out that much, make sure to choose a thread that complements both the front and the back. So the supplies that you'll need to make one placemat is the pocket piece, which is about 12 inches by 5 inches, and we'll fold that in half for our pocket. For the main part, you're going to need batting, a front fabric, and a back fabric, and they'll be 13 inches by 18 inches. You'll need the front, the batting, and the backing. So you'll layer your batting first, then the front of your fabric, right side together with the back of your fabric. And then you're going to take those layered pieces to your sewing machine and leave an opening about 4 or 5 inches, and you're going to sew all the way around, leaving that opening. Make sure to backstitch at the beginning and the end. So I have already sewed my placemat and I've made sure to leave an opening. And the next step, we're going to trim the corners. So make sure when you are trimming that you're not actually trimming through that stitch line, and get all 4 corners, and that will just reduce the bulk when we go to turn it right side out. Once you've done the 4 corners, I like to trim up the edges. Just sometimes when you're sewing, things can shift around, and so I like to just get that excess bulk out of the edges, making sure you're not getting too close to that stitch line. All right, once you have all of the sides trimmed up, you're going to turn it right side out. Go between the front and the back layer, and then go ahead and start to pull out those corners. And at this point, you can get your iron out and you can make sure all those edges are nice and flattened and pressed nicely before you take it to the machine. It's up to you. And that opening, you'll want to turn those raw edges under and fold it in. And this is where an iron would come in handy. Kind of press that to make sewing easier, or you can clip it or pin it into place. So now you'll take it to the sewing machine and you're going to do a top stitch all the way around, about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and make sure that you are catching that open edge to close it up. All right, here we have it nice and sewn, and we've closed up that opening. And next we'll work on the pocket. Go ahead and take your 5 by 12 piece and you're going to fold it in half. And we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to sew on the right and the left side, and then at the very bottom we're going to leave an opening. So we have that folded edge and then we have the opening at the bottom. And then now we're just going to turn it right side out. Now we're going to take the folded edge and we're going to sew about 1/4 of an inch away on the sewing machine. So here we have the top folded edge top stitched, and now we're going to measure 1.5 inches from the right edge and the bottom edge. Make sure your pocket's nice and even on all those sides. And this bottom is still open, so we have to get that sewn shut. We're going to pin it to our placemat and make sure those raw edges are tucked in from that opening where we turned it. And now we're just going to sew all the way around the bottom, the sides and the bottom edge. So now we have those 3 sides sewn, we have the opening, and now our pocket is nice and secure. And there you have your placemat.